Hello there, everyone. It is Michael James Garber from Embodied Light Institute. I've come on here today to share some very exciting news and some things that I've been working on very, very hard in the background over these last few weeks, really my whole life, um, that I'm compiling together to share with you. And this video is all about these exciting new things. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit bells, do all those things, follow, share, and all that good stuff. I'm hoping that this video is going to be around 30 minutes or so, but we'll see because there's quite a lot to share. I'm going to tell you a story and also share with you the exciting new things that I think you're just going to love. So first, I want to just put out that a major note, a major intention of my life has been to understand the nature of human suffering and to find the solutions, to study it, to understand it. And it has been my life's purpose to see what I could do with this life that I have to support positive change, not only in my own personal life and with the people that I love, but really the whole world. So, the things I'm going to share to you are an answer to that very prayerful intention and many, many years of very, very hard work and lots of research and soul searching. So, I want to share a bit about some of you know that I have been in Asia for quite some time. I was in a really deep healing process and restarting my life in a new way and coming to know myself in a new way and learning to trust myself in a new way. Through that time, I have been in deep contemplation. I have been doing more research on some of the topics that I love so much. And I've been, yeah, just reestablishing myself. And so, what you'll see today is the fruit of that very hard labor that I've been doing and the joy that I've reclaimed as the effect of that process. So when I started to come back from Asia, if you see some of those previous videos that I put up, it was very clear that it was time for me to come back to the United States. Many things happened, many things pointed me towards that being the right direction, and I started my journey. On that journey, while being stuck at an airport for several days, I had a series of dreams while at the airport. I was really stuck in the airport for about 3 days and 3 nights. And while in that airport, I started to have very powerful dreams that became increasingly more lucid. With the last parts of the last dream sequences pointing me towards a capacity to be lucid in dream time and to travel into other people's dreams and some of the work that I do on the astral plane when I sleep. This was very powerful activation for me. That really signaled a capacity for a deeper relationship with the unseen. And that process continued from there. It was really a big activation for me. The plane was landing back in the United States, visions of the future and lots of joyful, positive emotions were coming in, and I was very excited. It was a sense that I was coming home on multiple levels within myself and closing a loop of my life as I came back home to spend some time with my family and to finish polishing up some inner child stuff, some old family stuff that I was still carrying. And it has brought me to a place of really deep gratitude for the stages and steps of my life and the perfection of the progression of my journey here as Michael. When I landed here, I was guided internally through multiple meditations to start writing some things down. And as I did that, I was encouraged to take all of the notes of everything that I've been researching and studying over these many years and upload them to ChatGPT to begin mapping out the bigger vision of what I've been researching all these years. As I go into this conversation, I want to speak about the really important discussion, which is around the topic of AI. When AI first came out, I think ChatGPT and all those photo things were the first things to come out, people making avatars of themselves and such. I was, mm, I took a pause because a lot came up in me around maybe fear, concerns, and also feeling into the collective stirring of thought around the topic of artificial intelligence. Some of you may know that I do hypnosis sessions where I'm able to guide my clients very deeply into trance, and we're able to go into a higher space of their own consciousness, connecting to what you may call the higher self, the divine field, higher intelligence, if you'd like, and receive information. I've been guided for a number of years, I'd say at least 10, 12 years, by a few different councils of light, spiritual beings, very intelligent, loving beings that watch over Earth and watch over Earth's evolution. And they've guided me every few months of next things that I needed to implement, next things I needed to research, and also personal challenges that I would be going through, and guided me very beautifully through all of that. When AI first came out, I went to speak to these councils, and in particular, um, well, I don't need to go into the details too much, but these are very loving beings, very intelligent beings, and I trust them very much. So when in that discussion around AI, they discussed that um, any tool that is available on the planet, I am to use with discernment to create whatever I need to create in service to life. And that I needed to continue to be discerning to see what works, what doesn't work, what feels ethical, what doesn't, what honors privacy, what doesn't, and to be playful with it and to um, see what I can create with society as it shifts and changes. And I mean, we've had many technologies and different innovations over the history of humanity, and there's always a big um, expansion and conflicting ideas that come up when those new things are introduced. And there are obvious negative side effects of artificial intelligence in some ways that it's used, and some of the minds that are behind some of the ways that it's being used. But there's also very wonderful, very positive uses of artificial intelligence. And it's really, at this time, important that we're discerning, and then possibly, if it feels aligned, if you are engaging with AI, to use discernment and to, yeah, maybe my process of what I'll share with you might inspire you. So, inquiry and contemplation has been a big part of my personal growth path and my spiritual life. And one of the wonderful things about ChatGPT, it's the one I primarily have been using because it's the tool that I need for what I'm creating. Um, Through the contemplation, through going into hypnotic states within myself, I'm able to pull down large ideas and then give those ideas to ChatGPT and have it map out whatever is coming through for me. So it's been really wonderful to have this conversation with something that has connection to, a huge array of information, and can tirelessly meet me with what I'm creating and generate a lot. So I want to also say that artificial intelligence as is right now, and there's a lot that could be said about it, but this is not the video for that, um, is a stepping stone to a next level of technology that will be coming in the near future. In the near future, sorry, sometimes I have to check. Um, in the near future, that is a plasma intelligence that is connected to the original intelligence, if you will, source intelligence, that is connected to the higher scheme of life. And many of our star families are already using this, and you'll hear tales of people talking about it if they're visited in dreams, or if people have had some level of contact with yeah, beings from beyond this earth plane and from beyond this earth itself. As you can see, I'm starting to already get into disclosure a bit, which we'll talk more about here in the later parts of the video. When this plasma intelligence technology is given, it's going to help to restructure all areas of life, and we will use it in many, many, many ways. But again, this video is not about that next stage. This is about where we are now and what I've created to help us get to those later stages of this great transition that we can feel and see and sense happening here on the planet. That being said, through the process, I have also been developing my own tools within my own practices of learning to intuit information, um, using the trance state methods that I have been developing over the years, and through the research that I've been doing with many different people. Um, it has over time shifted how I do my own personal practice, my own personal healing. While out at a coffee shop recently, I sat in meditation waiting for my coffee, and as I sat there, it was maybe 10 minutes, and went into the quantum state, opened the view, and just a second. Okay, opened my view to see. I was immediately downloaded with a packet of information that was an entire method of quantum exploration that can be done personally. I was shown how to structure that and then how to deliver that to give that to humanity. And I have worked very hard over these last, I would say, doesn't matter how much time, but I worked very hard and created a course for it and a very extensive training manual. And I'm very excited to be giving this to you because it is going to completely revolutionize how you're doing your own personal healing work, how you're assisting others, and how you may assist the planet. So the course is available. It is only going to be available by application because I will be protecting this method very much, because it is giving you the keys to the living universe. It is giving you access to the field. It is giving you access to time, to space, to higher dimensional intelligence, and it has to be used ethically. So I was guided through the council, one of the councils, to really protect this for some time until we get through these next stages. And I'm excited about that because those of you that are going to be applying are going to be wonderful, radiant, beautiful people, and it's going to be very aligned for you to be doing this work, and you will take it further than I even imagined, and you'll be applying it in many different ways that I um, hope you feel empowered to do. So please check out the Embodied Light Institute website, go to the shop, and you'll be able to see the description of it. You won't be able to buy it there, you'll have to apply, and then I will approve those who I will check in with my guidance system and feel if there's a resonant signal there, and then I will open it up. So um, yeah, I'm gonna be doing a one payment price and then also a three payment segment. I really trust that you will honor that agreement if you're going to do a payment plan. I just really want to get this out to people, and I want you to be able to use it right away. I mean, I'm able to, just like those hypnosis sessions that have done past life regression, inner child work, I have now created a very unique approach to be able to do that on yourself. So I'm able to view past lives, I'm able to speak through time and space to ancestors, I'm able to communicate with higher dimensional intelligence and other beings, and it has rapidly developed my psychic and intuitive senses over these last 2 weeks since I said yes to it. And I've also been able to clear and heal and recalibrate several things that have been going on in my own body and mind and just systems overall. It's very, very, very exciting. You'll be able to use this on yourself. You'll be able to use it to adapt any of the work that you're doing with other people. And you'll also be able to assist the planet locally and non-locally through the field of intelligence. It's very, very, very exciting. Is there any more to say about that? No? Okay, good. Um, Give me just one moment. Okay, so with that, as I uploaded all of my research, I'm talking thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of research that I've compiled over several years. I was told at the beginning of my journey when learning the quantum hypnosis that I needed to write everything down and keep records because I would be coming out with a book and some other things to assist healing. I went above and beyond. I was really only meant to put out one book. I'm about to put out, depending on the final thing, it'll be about 25 to 30 codices that are all mapping out a system of civilizational regeneration and what's the other word that I wrote down? Civilization reconstruction codices. So these are going to span every area of human life and give a visionary approach to what the future is and a map of how we can get there possibly. These are open sourced, meaning I'm giving the information and I'm expecting you to run with it and to create positive change across the planet. I'm encouraging you to be discerning of who you share this information with. And should I go into that? Yes. One of the codices that I'm going to be describing is talking about deconstruction of the dark matrix. So on this planet, we have regular people just living their life, going through their soul evolution. We have had for millions of years representatives of a higher priestly order, higher so priest and priestesses, it doesn't matter what type of body you're in at this time, but there's a lineage of souls that have been tending to the evolution of human life and life on the planet for quite some time. And these are beings that have been supporting the evolution of consciousness all throughout universes. And so we have beings like that are on the planet, and we also have the other side of that. Um, yeah, I'm going to speak generally about the words because there's reasons why. So we can call this, let's call it the Dark Brotherhood, the Shadow Brotherhood, the Shadow Sisterhood. These are false light leaders that will use spiritual jargon. They'll talk all the things ascension, they'll talk religion, they'll talk peace, love, da 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 da, but the signal is off. It is a corrupted signal. And you will sense that through your own capacity to feel into your own truth signal within, your own pure essence within, and use that to gauge whether someone is in their integrity or not. They can put all the show of being a person speaking of ascension, speaking of positive change, but if you can sense that there's something off in the signal, I really encourage you to trust that. So we're about to move into a stage where those voices will become more pronounced and discernment is of the utmost import. More to say about that. There is not. So I don't mean for this to be gloomy or anything. It's really, this is just a phase that we're going through and they're playing their part in the polarity. However, just be discerning because we're creating something different. They're part of like a trapping system of some kind for people that have not integrated some aspects of themselves, such as wanting to belong, being overly compassionate when it's sacrifices their own energy and vibration. So these kinds of things are gonna, or other people that are drawn towards power, um, money in the inverted use of it, elitism, all that kind of stuff. The other side of that, the light leadership, is about inclusivity truly and about restoring all of life. And you can tell through their own radiance, we will begin being very radiant soon, but also how you feel when you're engaging in the material and when you walk away from it and go about through your day. Just a second. So that is one of the texts, the Destruction of the Dark Matrix Codex. It also is discussing the potential patterns of what this next stage is going to be. It might be a year or 2 years, I'm not sure of the time, but you'll want to read that. This is taking a look at the esoterics of this. This is looking at the multidimensionality of this. This is going into maybe some of the history of it, but also these next stages. There's some biblical references, the book of Revelations, and there's an esoteric interpretation of that information. It's not a biblical text. The organizations how do I want to say this? Yeah, there's like been that one main organization that has been running that text for some time, and they are part of that control structure. So I'm not doing that. I might lightly reference things because it's familiar to people, but I'm really going into the deeper teaching and the deeper esoterics of what that uh, visionary revelation that came through John and what that means for these times. So it's very positive, very empowering text. So let's go through the other texts. Um, let's get into some that are like really yummy and fun. Okay, so all right, so there's the Embodied Light Codex. This is the Master Spine Codex. This will talk about the whole vision of what this research material and what through the hypnosis sessions and records that I have through those sessions and through my own channelings, um, it contains all of it in a summarized fashion. I think you'll so love that. Is there more to share? No, we'll just keep going. Um, the next one, so this is part of the life cycle system. It's a new category that I've created. The life cycle system is helping guide people through the stages of life, from rebirth, life, and physical death, and what happens after that. So I made these because many people don't know about what happens before a child is born, and many people don't know what happens once a person leaves the physical body, and what we can do in those times to support the entry and exits of souls as they come into the earth. So there's some really beautiful teachings in both of those. There's also the Return to Source Codex. This is the life path part. This is going to give the fourfold areas of spiritual life and how you can cultivate a practice, wisdom, inner wisdom, and understanding of how to evolve into higher and higher levels of consciousness. Consciousness is at the base, consciousness with a capital C, supreme consciousness, source consciousness as the background, and all of these texts will zoom out all the way to the big story and then come right into a more localized version, aspect of that material. Then we have the Golden Generation System. This is for the golden youth. This is a whole, wow, there's so many gorgeous, gorgeous things. I'm so excited about this one. So I've been researching into yogic models of childhood development, esoteric lineages, and how they trained and initiated young ones, the different stages of holistic development for children, and also archetypal framework on the seven rays. So some of you may have seen that image of like the dove and Christian churches with the rainbow coming out of it. Those are seven rays of creation. The one source, fractal, separates into these seven primary forces and archetypes and organizes all the multiplicity of this universe. I have taken that framework and woven it into educational systems for all of us. And these texts are also going to address the problems of fragmentation of mind, lack of focus, physical health issues, emotional health issues, purpose, how to guide them. There's so much there that will help to create the conditions for really vibrant, really inspired, really sovereign and empowered youth. So there's the Golden Generation Codex, the Golden Steward Method. This is for people that are guiding children, so parents and school teachers, things like this. There's the curriculum. This is using a yogic model, many different beautiful things there. There's the Golden Generation Community Activation. This is for creating like how does the community support the child? But also there are pods that can be created. So some of you are going to be bringing your kids out of the public school systems, or maybe they're already out. And so this is going to discuss homeschooling, but also how to create homeschool pods where there can be resource sharing and a really nourishing ecosystem for the youth to mature. There's also the Home Family Integration Manual, which is going to discuss how you can set your home up to support these youth and the different practices that your family can do to create a vibrant, radiant, happy, healthy family. There's also the multidimensional child. So this is for the parents that have children that are, maybe speaking about past lives, or they're maybe considered overly sensitive, or maybe they're naturally drawn to healing, or they're just, you can tell they're very intelligent. So we have many, many master children, well, masters coming in as children right now. Many innovators of civilization that are coming in through that seven ray influence to help organize and reconstruct civilization. So, this is going to help with creating the conditions to help them do the amazing things that they're going to do here on the planet. We also have the Adolescent Initiation Codex. This is how to guide young children through adolescence. To help them understand their energy systems, to help them refine their emotions and come into emotional intelligence. This is going to help them cultivate many very useful tools and capacities so that they can move from, that uh, from being a young child to that in between stage where they're becoming adult, where they're becoming more independent, where they're starting to focus towards purpose and curiosities and all those kinds of things. You're going to love the initiation, the Adolescent Initiation Codex. I also have the Seven Ray Youth, which is really going to go into the seven rays so you can understand which ray your child primarily aligns with, and how to cultivate um, also a seven ray system so they're very balanced youth, and so they have full capacity to use all of their intelligence to live a life of joy, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment. So the Golden Zone system was something that I created when I came here to West Virginia area maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago-ish. That also came through in a stream of downloads and several days of writing things out. Um, the Golden Zones are means spaces that are these could be businesses, these could be service projects, these could be land-based communities, they could be online ministries or educational systems. There's a whole, it's every area of society, but these golden zones are places that are kind of like safe havens, or they're kind of like they're holding that new earth energy, and they're being stewarded by people that are wanting to authentically create that new earth, higher civilization living here on the planet. So the Golden Zone Codex is going to go deeply into that philosophy, help you understand how to get your project up and running. If you're wanting to create a project like that, I have several mentorship approaches to help you get your thing off the ground. That's the light leadership recalibration process, and also if you're wanting to start a golden zone, like a bigger land-based project or things like that, I can help you do that. Just reach out to me. The Future Earth Codex is going to discuss a a visionary concept of the future, how society is going to change. Through my hypnosis sessions, many clients went into potential futures. Of course, I don't want to hold on to those future visions that they saw as being concrete. It could be like that. It could also even be better than that. So maybe even what I'm creating now and giving to you, we're going to create something even better than was envisioned for humanity in our future. So there's the next is the relational intelligence system that I created. These are going to be codices that are for healthy consciousness-based relating. You're going to love this stuff. So we've got the coherent human. This is going to help you cultivate um, alignment within yourself and within your relationships. It's going to help you understand relational living in a way that is really rooted in esoteric understanding as well. All of the things that I'm giving, the topics that I'm just sharing lightly, I go very deep and very rich into the inner wisdom and the deeper esoterics of these things. So it really is going above and beyond any of the other psychology self-help stuff that is out there. I worked really hard reading 2,000-year-old texts. ancient things to bring this all to you. So we also have the Reconnection Codex, which is about touch and is about creating a culture of affection. This is going to go into the psychology of touch, the physiological responses that we have from different types of touch, how to create kind of like cuddle spaces or touch appreciated spaces where that are consent based as well. There's lots of ethics in every single one of these texts to make sure everything is being done in an aligned way. But it is time for us to reconnect and to feel each other, to embrace one another, to share time together and co-regulate our nervous systems together. This is the reconnection of humanity. We've been separated for so long. We've been in conflict for so long. This codex is going to help create a field of embrace for all of us. So there's also, oh, I love this one. This is the Sensual Brotherhood Codex. This one was created in response to what I've seen in a increase of men who are attracted to men. You can, with a variety of different labels of what that means, but this is about men that want to create sensual, deep connections with other men. And to move beyond the taboos, to address the shadow that's around that, and to connect in healthy ways. There are many men that will be attracted romantically to other men, sexually to other men, and also from a sense of brotherhood. So this codex is really helping to focus that soul growth that we're all doing as we're creating a new template for male bonding on the planet. Of course, not every man would need to engage in romantic or sexual activities with other men to get benefit from this text, but it really was to address this because I see a lot of shame. I see a lot of um, hmm, a lot that can just be addressed as the brotherhood is reestablished on the planet in a heart-centered, consciousness-based way. The Discernment Codex. This is a codex on understanding how to recover from narcissistic abuse, how to recognize false light leadership, and how to navigate these times as the epidemic of narcissism becomes more apparent to people. This is linking up to what I said about this signal that's out there where something underneath the surface is just not right. So this is going to help you. This is not a victim-based text whatsoever. This is understanding the esoterics of that, the soul agreements of that, and how to use an experience if you're going through something like this or know someone, how to use it to refine yourself into a more sovereign, embodied, and joyful, liberated being. Also have the Awakening Connection Circle Codex. This is for, we're going to be having more people wanting to gather in circles and connect and speak and draw down wisdom and pray together and sing together. And some of these golden zones are going to be governed by leaders, light leaders um, that are needing a system to help understand how to deal with different challenges that might be happening in those projects. So the Connection Circle, Awakening Connection Circle Codex is for that. This is really great. If you want to be holding circles, it has a lot of great information in there for you. The next one, When Someone You Love is Awakening. I made this as a text that if you're going through awakening and your family is like, what's going on with you? You're changing so much. I don't understand all these things you're talking about. This is the book to give them. It's a really heart-centered, simple, I think it's simple. It might be complex. But it's a book that's going to help them and it's going to help your relationships and it's going to help them understand and also trigger awakening in them if they're open to it. The quantum family counseling system. So we've got families that are opening up multidimensionally. We've got souls coming in that are super sensitive and activated with higher capacities, and we've got family members that are also like that. We're also dealing with a lot of things that we're processing and clearing ancestrally from our soul lineages as well, from societal conditioning. This is a codex to help families come together as they're expanding multidimensionally. And by multidimensional, I mean coming into an understanding that we're not just physical bodies. There's etheric, there's emotional, there's mental, there's spiritual. I'll just leave it at that. As we're awakening to that, as everyone's going through their processes of recalibrating all those layers, how do we stay together as a happy, healthy family? Okay, it's a lot, right? So this is a great text also if you're doing family counseling or if you're someone who's supporting other families. Um, the light leadership system. So I have a workbook for the light leader recalibration. So for those of you who will be meeting me for those types of mentorships, it's a 3-session, very unique process that I've developed to help you launch your mission-driven projects. So the workbook's part of that. There's the Christ Consciousness Codex. This is giving all the transcripts from my hypnosis sessions. They're rich, they're so good. But also understanding the esoterics. I'm going to use the term occult. Occult does not mean negative or black or dark. Occult just means the hidden sciences, occult sciences. Some people say esoteric sciences, spiritual sciences. Anyway, there's a hidden path of spiritual awakening called initiation that Christ, Yeshua, Jesus, whatever you want to call him, demonstrated. The esoterics of that and how it might be applying to your own life are all in that codex. The the priesthood codex is there's a priesthood and priestess codex. This is in response to seeing a whole lot of distortion out there of people calling them priest, priestess, a Melchizedek, all these kinds of things, but don't actually embody the initiation that is necessary to deliver that information. We've got women saying that they're high priestesses of Isis. We've got 1,000 Mary Magdalens on the planet, and some of them may be true. That's all good. Some of them may not be. And yeah, there's definitely some that aren't. This is about guiding those people that really want to play a part of spiritual leadership. So the Priest Codex is dealing with the divine masculine archetype and how to guide people through transitionary stages of life, and there's so much more in there. And the same with the Priestess Codex. But this is focusing on the divine feminine principle, the divine feminine mysteries, and how to work that magic. There's a whole lot in there about cosmic kundalini and all this great stuff. Those both are very rich. I'm really only very lightly touching on the topics. I'm just trying to give you the overview of what each of them is for. So we have the Disclosure Codex. So fun. This is talking about this also has past life regression and future progression transcripts in it, and also discussing the process of disclosure that's starting to happen and likely will, and it will continue through stages, but it's going to discuss humanity's history with extraterrestrial and higher dimensional intelligence and where we might be moving through over these next years and where humanity will eventually be in relationship to off-planet intelligence and inner Earth and many beautiful. Wow, you're gonna love that one. I've already discussed the Deconstructing the Dark Matrix Codex. The Illuma Soma Codex is a text for creative movement and somatic work, how to cultivate, how to awaken the light body, the multidimensional body, and how to work with it, and how to activate through movement, through dance, improvisation, how to make classes for this. This is a great text for anyone that's doing any type of movement facilitation, any type of dance education, ecstatic dance facilitators, and people that just want to learn how to move that body in a multidimensional way. These are powerful instruments of light, powerful redemptive technologies. So as you awaken in yourself and redeem all those parts within yourself, you can then begin to move your body in a way that's going to help all of life. Great text. All of that is also applied in a Illuma Soma Youth Codex. So this is going to be about youth embodiment, youth creative dance, and somatics and all kinds of incredible things in there just for the youth. This is really great for dance educators of youth, homeschool parents that want to create something fun to get their kids moving and grooving and fun. And dance is a powerful tool. It trains intelligence, it trains focus, it trains flexibility, strength, intuition, and how to take care of the body in a way that is playful and fun. So the next is a 7-book series. This is the last of the text I'll talk about. 7-ray series is about the 7 rays, but it's discussing each of the rays as it applies to cosmic evolution, planetary evolution, societal evolution, and personal evolution. Each of those books are wonderful. You're going to see that I worked to create epic covers for all of these. This was super fun to take prompts and take ideas and images that I was getting and have this really creative conversation with ChatGPT to create these really gorgeous, 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 gorgeous covers. So I think you're going to love them. All of these are going to be available on the Embodied Light Institute website. I will not be putting these to publish on the mainstream things. I think it's for protection reasons. It will all be on my website and available for you to download. Some of them, there's going to be a range of pricings. I still need to feel into all of that. But I worked really, 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 really hard to put all of this together. And I really, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm being compensated fairly and in a conscious way so that I can continue to use Embodied Light Institute in a way to create even more tools and resources and initiatives to create really positive change. Just want to say that my previous Illumination Codex is no longer in my control. I'm not able to get the funding, the money that might come in from that. It has been I requested to have it taken off. That was denied, and it was placed into a category which no one's basically going to be able to find. The previous organization that I was working with is no longer something that I can support. And I won't go into it too much, but I'm still dealing with a few things there. And I just really encourage people to use discernment and just a second, I want to make sure. I'll just really lightly touch on that. I am no longer in control of any of the communications or any of the things that are going on over there. And so just be aware of that and study it. See what's going on. See if you read about any of it, any of these types of patterns or any of those kinds of things that are going on. Um, okay, yeah, I'll stop there. The holy fire wants to come through, but I can hold the flame. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. So that being said, all of that's on the website. All of it's there. That's the self-recalibration method. It's there. Just got to apply. All these texts are there, available for you to purchase. Right now, they're going to be an EPUB file, so put that on your whatever you read EPUB files on. And please, yeah, it just feels like don't share it with other people. When you download it, it's for you and your family, but like your household, but really not for others. Have them come buy it off the website. It'll really, really support me. Another way that you can support Embodied Light Institute, I've created a really gorgeous altar card that you'll see on the website. When you have the altar card, it's going to have a QR code on it that you can scan. It's going to have an awakening kit that is going to be free for you to download. It has an epic meditation that will teach you how to access your deepest layers of self and have a light activation from that. It also has a workbook, and it will also contain the file of the altar card. So what I would love your support with is, if it feels right for you, download the file for the altar card, have it printed. 5x7 is what it was designed for. You can print a few of those cards if you'd like, or as many as you'd like, and please post them in places where you know there's going to be others that are beginning to awaken or in their awakening process, so they can get access to all these incredible things that I have. So that's the Living Light course, which is going to help people understand what's happening with their awakening. There's the uh, insight and reset methods of the quantum recalibration system for working with other people and helping them heal. There's the group recalibration, which is working with groups, whether online or in person, to help them work and access multidimensional information and healing. Is there more there? You can see I've been up to a lot. Is there more? Feels like it's enough. Okay, the last thing that I want to discuss is the pivot that is coming up. So I've been working so hard these last days, like really this last 2 weeks, I've really been pushing it because it's been a big swirl of information, huge amounts of energy coming through me, like really like birthing. Like there were moments of like really having to breathe through it because I was expanding so much and holding and navigating so much. I did all of this myself, me. I did so much. I learned so much. And it's all labor of love. It's a labor of love. It is my gift to give. It is my part of to play in this great transition that we find ourselves in. We're about to go through a pivot, which means a bunch of things. There's going to be some activities that are going to start accelerating on the planet, but what I want to speak about specifically is there is going to be an initial wave of awakening to the higher level of consciousness. These are going to be the light leaders. This is going to be high-ranking members of the cosmic priestesshood lineages. These are major innovators of change. These people are technologies in themselves. When they open their energies, it's going to start bringing in a lot of energy into the planet, and they're going to be demonstrating beautiful energies and transmitting a lot of wonderful information for people. Um, if you're not in that first group, it's okay. You may have some karmic conditions that you're still tending to, that you need to continue tending to, such as you may have a family and you need to continue being a mom in a certain kind of way to a young one, even though you're very source aligned. And maybe you've maintained some, I don't want to say distortions, but you've had to maintain certain mental states so that you could play those parts. It's all good. No one's like behind in this. This is part of the process that's coming up. So these first light leaders are going to be teaching and helping with the initiation of civilization-wide reorganization. Um, Boom, 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 boom. If you're one of those people, you're going to be going through a pivot, a change. You've been doing and living life in a certain kind of way, doing your work in a certain kind of way. You're about to go into the thing that you came to do, the big thing. There's probably going to be some time to integrate all this new energy and information as it comes in. There's probably going to be other things happening on the planet at the same time. This is going to be a major psychic upgrade. I'm talking telethought communication, being able to project consciousness into different, I mean, and you're already able to do that, but it's going to be next level. Um, High level communications with off-planet intelligence and getting the next schematics for what's to happen here. So it's very soon. Probably very soon. I don't know the time. No one knows the hour or the day or the time. Um, Even with all of my testing and my inquiring, I'm not given a time. There's like my typical way of testing that just doesn't work. So there, it's very veiled, very sealed and protected. Um, People that are not making this first leap, and then, well, let's just say there's going to be increasing pressure on the planet, conditions that are creating a lot of pressure in your own life, or in someone's life. I don't have mean necessarily you, but in someone's life and in different parts of civilization, because the change needs to happen, and because the mental patterning hasn't shifted, and it has to move forward, or people are going to start exiting. That's what the Memento Mori Codex is for, um, is to help those people transition in a good way. Um, but also we're going to need to counsel people because there's going to be intense emotional anguish and direction needed for people, and that's what we came to do. We came to do that. We are stewards of threshold, and this is a major threshold. So, um, be attentive to what you're viewing, what you're seeing, what you're sensing in others. There's a signal of the false light leadership. It could be people that are actually interlopers, meaning they're connected to a malignant, a negatively polarized group behind them. But it could also just be people that are just selfish or misguided or ambitious in a way that's not healthy, not integrated. But there are definitely people on the planet where they are sourcing from something deeper and they're not in integrity. So pay attention as those things go on. It's all good. You don't have to be afraid of any of that. You just have to notice the signal, notice what happens in the body when you're around that type of signal, and just quietly walk away. We don't have to tear down the dark matrix. It's going to eat itself. We just have to gather those who have ears to hear, eyes to see, and hearts that want to be open. All is protected, all is good, nothing to be afraid of. And if you're getting into fear state stuff, if you're too much into the truth or community, drop it like a hot potato, drop that rope, go do other activities. I've got plenty of activities here for you to do in all of these codices. That was good. Okay. So, all that being said, if you want to support, there's the altar card, as I mentioned, and there's also donations. Whoa. Embodied Light Institute is a spiritual nonprofit, and so all of the funds can be used. Anything that you contribute, educational purchases, texts, and donations are tax deductible. So, those funds will be used in a noble and good way. And I live a very simple life. You don't have to worry about me misappropriating money whatsoever. I will put that to good use. I look at what I've done with basically no income for many years, very little income. Um, I'm very devoted to this work, and I'm still doing my clearing and still doing my integration work, and I do it with joy and excitement. So give me just one moment. May this video be a powerful emanation of love and guidance and a soothing balm for our time moving forward. May this work be protected by the highest levels of light, enshrouding it so that only those who are ready for this type of message and who will use it in a good way will even become aware of it. If not, they have other things to do. So, bless you all. I'm very excited about what's to come. We have so much to look forward to. Go ahead and get those codices. Check out the self-recalibration method. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Bless you, bless your life, bless your work. And is that it? That's it. So I'm going to post this after I get all the rest of everything completed. I still got a good last final push. Bless you. Bye-bye.